Welcome to Tech Wizard Stream. Today we're going to, as the title suggests, we're going to do a new Let's Play. I've found a seed for this procedurally generated game that I absolutely love. In my opinion, the best seed to start with. If you're wanting to find a cave, if you're wanting to raise wolf pups, if you're wanting to find a good place to hunt for Finn or Finmore, this is the place to build. This is the seed. Tons of Jotun blood. Why don't we get into it and start building our first character for this new Let's Play, and I'll show you the seed we're talking about. Let's get into it. New game. And we're going to call this Alphabet World. And the reason is because the new best seed to start with is A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. This seed right here, we're going to get into the best start for a new Aska world. And this will be our Aska Let's Play. Let's get into it.
Don't forget to smash that like and subscribe buttons with your Viking-esq, and scribble a comment down below to help others see more Aska content.
Alright, let's look at the big monster here. Ooh. Yep, he's gone. So let's look at the map. Here we are at the water. Our best place to build is just right through here. It's right over this ridge here. I actually think it's about right there. So we're gonna go grab our Jotun blood. Here we are. Let's see. That's all 5. That gives us our first villager. Now, directly in this direction, if you follow the coast, you'll run right into a spawner. And that spawner is pretty rough if you try to take it out. So we're not going to do that. We're going to head towards our marker. See if that's about where... I actually don't think it is. I think it's actually more this way. And there's our first Jotun blood, right there. So let's gather a few branches, because we're going to start out with 2 villagers. Now I pull up the settings, and I go in here in the keyboard and mouse, and I change or apply on my keyboard and mouse a new Z key. I have a 4th button on my mouse, and so I always set that up with the Z key so I can quickly hit Z and look for stuff as I'm moving around the map. You might find that to be pretty helpful as well. Here we are, natural water source, natural water collector. In this area we're about to go to is going to have a lot of natural water collectors. I mean, there's a Jotun blood, here's a Jotun blood. We should be able to get our second villager pretty quick. Let's make a pickaxe right away. We need 2 stones and a rope. So let's get us a couple stones. We may have to go back down to the coast and grab enough for a pickaxe. Should be 4 stones, I believe. There's 1. 2. We can also grab some food right here. All right, let's go. Let's find these other 4 stones, or the 2 stones. There's 1. There's 2. There's this a bad guy. We could start with a heavy hit, and then another heavy hit, and then another heavy hit, and then just punch him. Oh, he got us. Another heavy hit. And he attacks. There we go. And punch him again. There we go. That'll give us some stuff for rope. And there's another stone. And a little bit more food. We'll gather this. We'll be able to get food fairly quickly. This place I'm about to take you to has a lot of food to harvest. And there's another Jotun blood there. I'm telling you, there's Jotun blood everywhere on this map. Let's see here. Let's build 2 stone blades. Build 1 rope. And build stone pickaxe. There we go. There's our first stone pickaxe. Now let's harvest some of this Jotun blood on our way over there. We're just getting ready to go to the area. We're going to take some Jotun blood as we go, gather it up, take it to our area so we can bring in 2 or 3 villagers right away to help us build our village. Skilling up our character here. Use R to hold to harvest. Works the best for me. You can just hit the left mouse button and smack it individually like this if you want. I don't see any benefit one way or the other. The only time I do see a benefit to using the left mouse button is if I'm wanting to smooth out an area with my hoe. Maybe I've created too much of a hill using the terraforming feature, and so I might use the hoe with the single click button to kind of smooth things out. Just a little tip that I've found. There we go. Got that. That Jotun blood. We'll pick up a few of these rocks here as well. Use the Z key. Don't see any more Jotun blood there. Let's go to the top here. Okay. We'll gather a few berries. And a few sticks. And definitely always gather the flax if you see it. It is a small item in your inventory, the fiber. And the flax plants give you the most fiber that I've found at one time. So we'll hold R and we'll get this Jotun blood. We've got, I think we need 3 more Jotun blood drops. Got us a shard there. You can get splinters from stone harvesting, or if you're using an axe and harvesting trees, lumber. You can even get a splinter when harvesting like a skeleton that might have attacked you. And you can get a splinter that way too. One tip, never try to harvest anything if you're really low on life. Those splinters could actually kill you. But for the most part, they're pretty easy to deal with. All right, let's go. Get that Jotun blood. If anybody's ever wondered, you might look up Jotun for Nordic mythology. If I'm not mistaken, it's they were giants, frost giants, in fact, that lived in one of the realms of Nordic mythology, and they were supposedly have magic. But if anybody has any more information on them or knows anything more about it, or if I'm totally wrong, just send me a chat or put it down in the comments. I'd love to hear what you've learned about Jotun, and if that is the correct pronunciation. Can't harvest trees yet. Let's see how many we have. We have 3, 4, 5. We need one more Jotun blood. And we can get one more Jotun blood, because we didn't get much out of that one. But there was a Jotun blood shard right there. Let's go get it. And then we'll head to our secret location. Our pickaxe is already down halfway, but we're picking up stones, getting ready to make more blades, because we're going to need a pickaxe, axe. We're going to need some of that for our villagers as well. This will give us the first 20 minutes of bringing in villagers once we can build Odin's Eye. Odin's Eye will be the thing to help us retrieve these villagers. We'll go ahead and finish this Jotun blood shard off. If anybody's watching at this point, send me a chat or send me a link. I mean, not a link, I'm sorry. Send me a comment. Let me know if you've played this game, if you like this game, if you're planning on getting this game. Let me know if you have any tips, tricks, ideas about this game that maybe you don't see in this video. Let me know. Happy to help. Add that to tips and tricks videos as another Jotun blood. So there's tons of Jotun blood in this map. We're going to head to our location. It's not this way. I was incorrect. Let's remove that. It's actually going to be over here. So let's head in that direction. It's actually right through this tree line here. It's not here. It's going to be right in through here. Oh. Yeah, that's the right idea. It's going to be right through here. I'll show you on the map. There's another Jotun blood. Get this flax. We're going to need that. Okay. It's going to be right through here. This, in my opinion, is the best little valley, little field here to build. You've got a spawner here for these deer-like creatures. And this is the part that I think is great. Right over here, yes, we have a cave where we can start doing iron ore mining right away. You can build your chieftain's house up on the hill. Tons of resources, plenty of forest. There's both hardwood here, regular wood, tons of regular wood that you'll need, and then right through there, right over here on the other side of these trees is a wolf spawner. So we're going to, this rock right here kind of gets in the way, so you want to plan your build but around this rock and that rock, but it will give some really neat build additions to your village as you build it. We're already starting to get late. I know that I want to build my chieftain's house. The last time I looked at this seed, the first time I looked at the seed, my chieftain's house went up there on top of the mine. But I kind of want my chieftain's house to be among my cottages and maybe even my longhouse. So I'm planning on building up here. I'm going to build when I can my chieftain's house up here and cottages just below it, just below this little hill right here. We can build cottages right in here, so that my chieftain's house sits just above the cottages. But for now, what we need to do, is we need to find out where we're going to build our little shelters. Now, shelters are what you start out with, and shelters are good to put around a fire. So the first thing the game, always the tutorial wants you to do, here's a natural water collector. We're going to take a drink of that. There's also some up on that hill. There's some over there by the rock. There's plenty of natural water collectors here. There's one here and one right over here, I believe, too. Somewhere in this neighborhood. Yeah, right there. And there's another one over here. So I want to set my natural water collector up right near, or my campfire right near the natural water collector. Like I said, I know there's two of them here. Yeah, one here, one here. So the first one I want to set up is here. This is my natural water collector, and I'm going to put the campfire near it so that I can do a covered barbecue pit, and then I'll put the houses all around it. Then as I get ready to build cottages, I'll build them just to the left of this. So the first thing we want to do is build our campfire. I must build a simple fire first. So we don't want to build it on top of that. We will build it just to the left of it, or right of it, I mean. Looks like we have almost what we need, but we still need, we can pin it using the Q button. Pin the recipe up at the top left, and I believe you can have up to 4, maybe 5 recipes pinned at any one time. Now, the order of the pin will dictate what your villagers focus on first. So if we're going to pin this, and if we had a villager, they would be focused on building the fire. But we need to get sticks. In order to get sticks quickly, we might build an axe so we can harvest a tree. Now we need, let's come in here and build 5 blades. Let's come in here and build 5 rope. So we have plenty of that. And let's see about a stone axe. We need some sticks. And like I said, there are so many resources in this little valley. There's a Finmar, I believe is what they're called, basic deer. And we can gather sticks, plenty of flax, plenty of stuff right here. And then around this, we're going to build our shelters around this campfire near this well. So let's get that stone axe, craft it. All right, now we're going to harvest this tree because it will be kind of in our way. And we could sure use the firewood from the stump right away. So we're going to chop this tree down here. And we're going to harvest this stump just to get it out of the way. In order to harvest the stump, you need the pickaxe. And here we are. So now what we have the ability to pick up these sticks here. Now, this is a new update to the game where you can hold T to pick up multiple sticks. So if you hold T, it'll pick up all the sticks in the area, and that is a wonderful quality of life improvement that the devs are already incorporating into the game. So we have this firewood, bark, an onion if we wanted to pick it up, but let's leave it for a moment. We have some food. We're already down to half life, so why don't we press 3? This will eat our mussels and also give us a little water. We'll eat 3 of those for now. Here we have, we needed a sticks, so I believe we've got our sticks, R to supply to the simple fire, and then right away we can press R to add that firewood and refuel it. But one thing I want to do right off the bat, now this is a tooltip, we can click this to not show this again, but what it's doing is just showing us how to upgrade or add on to different builds that we have. And this particular one is a campfire. It's showing us that we have 4 of the 6 stone and 3 of the 4 sticks we need. We're going to build and update that to a campfire. And we're going to go ahead and add what items we have right now. And then we're going to look for some stone and for some sticks. Now there is a ton of stone, sticks, and once we get this right here, once we get that cave going, we are going to have plenty of stone that comes out of that. There's a stone right up here that we can go ahead and get. We could also start getting the Jotun blood, which is probably the best option, to go ahead and just find some more Jotun blood and mine it. We want to go ahead and get our Odin's Eye in as quick as possible. Probably even before we build our shelter, though the tutorial will tell you to build the shelter first. But we can set up a shelter, basically the outlines of a number of shelters. And then we can have our people, when they come in, they'll be automatic builders and they'll build for us. And also we can press T and hold to pick up multiple stones. And there we go, we picked up 2. Here we go, hold T. It picks up 2 more stones. And that's just a really good quality of life for picking up all the multiple items. Now, we didn't pin that campfire. I know we needed some sticks. Let's harvest this tree here. See, this area has a wonderful, I mean, we could say bounty of materials you need for right in the beginning, and it has materials for later on. Here we go. Oh, we don't need that. Wrong button. There we go. And here we can harvest multiple by holding T. I picked up 3 sticks. That's wonderful. And I wonder if it'll do, yep. We can harvest multiple bark. That's 3. And there's just another bark that we can get. Now you can break these long sticks down into smaller components by just harvesting them. It'll chop them down into firewood and bark and things like that. Now this deer already wants to be in our area. Let's see. Supply, and now we've got a campfire. That's good. Now we want to go ahead and make it a covered campfire, because the next thing we need to do is build a barbecue grill. But I want to see about building. Okay, so in order to do Odin's Eye, we first have to have a shelter. So we do have to build a shelter. Okay, that's not a problem. We're going to put these shelters in a circle around our campfire and around our well. We want them close enough so that they get the heat buff from the campfire, but not too close to where we can't get some more room in here for other things. There's something there that's preventing this from clipping. Let's see. I had it. It might be. Yeah. So here we go. So there's our first shelter. Now we need a hoe to be able to flatten the ground. Let's see what we need, resources we need to make a wooden hoe. We have everything we need. Excellent. The benefit of making 5 rope, 5 stone blades all at the same time. And then we can hit E to level. That's good. Now we could terraform this whole area first. I kind of like the little bit of grass and stuff that grows up in between the shelters at first. I think it looks really neat. So we will just basically the area that we need to build. So we're going to pin that. We need 2 large sticks, which of course we have right here from chopping down those trees. Now we've survived the first day. There we go. Second long stick. Let's go. Come on. Whoops. Pressed E instead of R. R, supply. There we go. Now we need a hammer. One of the things you got to have is 2 sticks for a hammer. That will help you build. We don't have the 2 sticks, so let's go back up here's 2 sticks right here, dwarf spruce. That gives us 2 sticks. Let's build a hammer. Great. We'll see how far we can get in this time frame, in this stream. All right. So build a hammer. There we go. Missing components. I thought I picked up sticks. I guess I didn't. Well, that's odd. We'll get this flax. I'll need it soon. There's another dwarven spruce. Let's try that again. Should be 2 sticks. 1, 2. Okay. Says we've gathered the sticks. Wooden hammer. There we go. Not quite sure why it did that. Maybe a review of the video will tell me. Nope. I want to build. Okay, now I can hold. Built a hammer. Right, there we go. Now it needs rope, but it needs 8 sticks and 1 long stick. So we chopped a tree down up here, but we're going to need 8 sticks anyway. So why don't we come over here, find a small tree, maybe this one? Yep. Let's find a small tree here, chop it down. Notice we're already doing more damage to the tree with each stroke because we're already leveling up our tree harvesting ability. So let's press T, hold, pick up 3 sticks at a time. Let's press T, pick up all of that, grab this long stick here, run over here. All right, now that's the long stick we need. Now we need some more sticks. Okay, got 2 of the 3 we need. Let's chop down this tree here. We're going to need them building materials. All right, good job, guys. Good job. Let's go. Got 3 sticks, but inventory's full. That's okay. That's what we needed. Let's get a drink right here from this natural water collector. We're going to build our well here really quickly. It won't take long at all to build a well. Let's finish this off so we can start building Odin's Eye. Notice our health of our food. There's a little bar just above the food. There's the bark we needed. We picked it up earlier because we knew we were going to need bark for the shelter. We've leveled up our building skill. All right, we got our first shelter built. Good. We could sleep there. We don't want to. We do want to build. To do a water well, we need to build a water collector. So let's start that because we're going to need water for our people. We could place this water collector right over here next to where we're going to build the well. That stone there is kind of causing us to not be able to build. Now let's build this water collector right there. Good job. There you go, Ragnar. All right. Now we're going to need a few items, but I want to go ahead and start building the Odin's Eye first. Now, where should we build Odin's Eye? I like the idea of having it up where I'm going to put my chieftain house. Now, the other thing is too, is when you get a spawn or blood moon or whatever, when monsters come attack in the evening, they're kind of focused on that, on Odin's Eye. They'll go to any structure that's on the outskirts of your village, but Odin's Eye is one thing they'll kind of go after. And it takes a little bit to build Odin's Eye. So you could put it in amongst your villagers, but then if they're asleep or whatever, they will wake up eventually to protect the village and protect Odin's Eye. But there's also some places around here. We've got this nice big stone. We want to build our chieftain's house up here. So we might place it kind of the edge of this bluff here. Right there, maybe right on the edge. So that it'll be kind of close to our chieftain's house, kind of away from where our villagers are sleeping in a sense. But easy enough to get to if the attack comes. In most cases, the attacks come from this direction. In fact, I told you earlier that I would show you on the map where this is. So this is our shipwreck. And if we come straight southeast, this is the little area here that I've found is one of the best places to build, as we've got all the resources we need. We've got a cave entrance where we can build a cave entrance. There may be other areas on this map. I mean, if y'all search it out, find another good place, please let me know. There is tons of Jotunblad between here and there for us to harvest, and this little village, this little area is a great place to build a village. But right, okay, let's take away the waypoint, and let's place that waypoint, let's take that waypoint out. So right over here, let's see here, let's walk towards that area so our character goes in that area. Okay, so yeah, right over here in this little area right here is a spawner, and so most of the time your attacks, your spawns will come from this area. Now later on, days later, you might get some from this side, but this is just seems to be a really awesome map to build in, and so I wanted to share it with y'all. And again, if you want to see the seed for this map, the seed for this map can be found in settings right here. And the seed is the alphabet, all lowercase. Really easy to remember, but an awesome best start to your game. Let's save. And saving often is a good idea. Now, the game does save every morning, but sometimes it's good to get a save in a little earlier, especially if you're playing a multiplayer game. If you're the one hosting the multiplayer game and you don't save. I know another streamer that I've been watching that I enjoy watching, Red Viking. He doing a multiplayer game, hosting the session, and a couple of times his computer conked out or the stream conked out, and everybody kind of lost their progress for 10-15 minutes or so. So it's good to always save, especially if you're hosting a multiplayer game. All right, so we're going to build Odin's Eye here. We need a few items for Odin's Eye. Now, I like it to point kind of out over our village. So let's put it here. All right, we'll supply it with some stones. We need long sticks, stones. We're going to need 2 large stones as well. So there's another stone. There's a long stick. We built it kind of close to where we've already started getting materials. Oh, we're getting hungry. Let's eat some more of those mussels before they go bad. And possibly the berries too. There we go. Better in our stomach than rotten. And let's go see if we got where that stone was. And here's another water collector. Like I said, there are a ton of natural water collectors here. So we're full up on water. There's another Jotunblad. So we'll harvest this because we're going to need the large stones as well for our Odin's Eye. Some things have 1 or 2 stages of build that you have to do. As you can see on Odin's Eye, it shows 1 of 2. So we're currently doing the first part of a 2-part build. And so we're going to need, now we've already broken our pickaxe. Let's see what we need to build it again. We have the blades, we have the rope, we need a couple of sticks. So we can walk around here and probably find a spruce. Yep, right there. A dwarf spruce. Let's collect 1 and 2 sticks. Let's build us another pickaxe. There we go. And let's head back to our rock. So a wonderful collection of resources here on this map. And in this Let's Play, we're going to have the benefit of this area. We're going to build fast. We're going to get a lot done in a short amount of time. For those of you that like to build their game up quickly. That's 5 stones at one time. That's great. We're going to grab one of these large stones. That boulder there gave us a lot of large stones. We're going to walk over to our Odin's Eye, hit Z key to kind of see where we're at a little bit better. Now, we're not going to need this here yet. We got to get the first part of the build done. So let's see there. We need 7 more sticks and 1 more long stick. Now we got another long stick here. Let's grab it. Let's run it back up the hill. There we go. Now all we need is the 7 sticks. Why don't we chop this tree down, see if we can get some sticks out of it. I like to try to start hitting R. I don't think the trees cause you any damage when they fall. I could be wrong. I haven't seen that, but if you hit R, there we go, hold T. If you hit R when you are, let's pick up this long stick and move it. Yeah, if you hit R as it's falling, like that, you can start chopping and it doesn't cause you any damage. Sorry, learning to talk and do things at the same time and do it on stream. Still kind of new at this, so thanks for bearing with me. There's that large stone. So I need sticks. I can go ahead and get this bark now that it's just hold T to pick up a collection of bark. Let's throw those sticks in there. We need 4 more. It's already getting dark. We have a dwarven spruce here. Now we have a campfire we can light. And we have a dwarven spruce here. As you can see through the trees there, there's already you can already see another Jotunblood right through the trees there. Yeah, tons of Jotunblood right around this area. Let's put that in here. Let's start the first part of the build. There we go. Now the second part of the build is going to require 2 large stones. And see, we already had 1 here. So let's run over here. Is this it? No. Not that one. That's the natural water collector. So here we go. Pick up this large stone. Almost tripped over that log there. Oh, there we go. The second part, part 2 of 2 for this build. And then we can start putting the Jotunblood in there and calling our first villager. There we go. Now open this and stick in 5 of these Jotunblood and activate. Now it will take 10 minutes. But let's look and see which characters we have here. We have Carr. Shrimpy Woodsman. No, I need a good woodsman. In fact, woodsman is probably one of the things you need to start focusing on first. Woodsman, huntsman, stone collector. Those are like your first things. And then also, or foraging actually. Probably woodsman foraging or foraging woodsman. This guy's tireless vitality. Now this guy has a green thumb, be a good farmer later, and a steadfast resolve. So I think I'm going to pick this guy here, Bragg. All right, Bragg is coming. He'll be here in 10 minutes. In the meantime, we can start getting some things ready for Bragg. One of the first things we need is he's going to need a shelter. Now, I don't really need a shelter, but it might be nice to have one. Now we'll go ahead and supply the cover with that. We also need 4 more sticks and 3 more rope. Let's see if we can build 5 rope. Yep, 5 more rope. Let's add that to the build. And there's a natural water collector. We want to go ahead and build that well really quickly. That well is going to be super important, or the rain collector. Super important to make sure we keep water. So let's see what we need for it. 6 sticks and 3 long sticks. Probably be easier to come over here where we already have some. Alright. Let's take this long stick back up here. There's plenty of natural water collectors, but it's easy to run them out. And if we have a water collector, then we'll have water, and then we'll be able to build the well right there, and we'll never have to worry about water. Now we are getting a bit hungry. We might look for some berry plants or an onion. Onions also apply a little health buff to your character. I'll show you. I'll eat this onion here. Notice the little health, a little plus. I believe it's a small amount of a health buff that you get. Might be able to see if I hit. Yeah, burst heal. Your health is being replenished. So yes, from eating an onion, you get a burst of health. Now here are our skills so far. Notice we haven't got any melee yet, so our first melee will be shortly. Well, we had those little guys out on the beach, but they aren't about much. So let's see here. Let's get some sticks. We'll also look for some. Now the only thing about this area, it's not terribly far away from the water. You can go build a fishing hut. But one of the things I've found is that while a fishing hut is great, a hunter's hut in this area will provide enough meat for everyone during the winter. I was able to supply meat with 1 hunter and 1 hunter hut for up to 13 people through the winter, not counting myself. And we had more meat than we could stockpile. So an excellent place. Now there's another onion. There's some flax. We'll go around collecting a few things. Alright, we have all the sticks we need, I believe. Let's see. And then we'll need, yep, we had sticks. We also have enough sticks for this. Let's go ahead and build that up. That way if it rains, our fire won't go out. Now we start out in the spring. I can't remember, maybe we'll find out this Let's Play, how many days it is per season. I want to say it's like 5, but I'm not exactly sure. Maybe somebody can tell me in chat or down in the comments how many days it is per season. But we have a natural water collector here. It's collected some water, so we're full up on water. We still need a little bit of food, but there's plenty of food in this area. You come across it all the time. There's berries. There's another natural water collector, which we don't want to use. Let's see if we can get just the berries. There we go. Got the berries. There's garlic. Now garlic offers a health buff as well. Let's look at the health buff that we can get from garlic. Let's eat that. And then if we go in here, we get a small burst of healing, and we get winter cough cure. So garlic is a great cure for the winter cough. Also, it gets you a small healing buff. So onions really give you a bigger healing buff. And you can see in the definition there under onions, this is a healing veggie. So it kind of tells us. This deep blue hue conceal a nice balance of sweetness and tanginess, a burst of refreshment in every bite. So it gives you a little bit of water, or, liquid refreshment. So that's excellent there. So our villager will be here in about 4 minutes, and he will be able to start helping us build. He will be a builder when he first comes in. And we want to make sure we keep our villagers just churning out. We need long sticks. We need 2. We have 2 right here. And as soon as he comes in, he'll start picking up these resources and applying them if they're not too far away from where it needs to be built. We want to get another shelter going as well, so that when he comes in, he'll start building that as well. Now, to start with, we're going to have to supply all the rope. Now, that's something you kind of have to keep up with, because your builders, they will stop doing anything if they run out of rope. You get to that point, nothing really gets built. But if you can keep the builds that you have, you make sure you supply the rope first after you build it, then you won't have any trouble being able to have the villagers build the items you want. I need 1 more long stick, and that's right here. Oh, there's a garlic too. I'm going to pick that up. Now, you don't want to pick up too much food, specialty food. Till you have a gatherer's hut. The gatherer's hut will keep it from spoiling as fast. But in your backpack there, it will spoil pretty quick. So a gatherer's hut and then a forester's hut might be the first 2 things we get going. We're going to go ahead and build this water well right there. You have to build it over a natural water collector. We'll pin that to the top, and then we'll pin this second. That way they build the water collector first, that second. Oh. We also want to start a barbecue pit, and that'll be what we pin third. Now we have the rope. It does need 2 more rope, so let's see if we can build that. Build 5. Let's build 10. Okay, great. Let's supply the rope, and then really and truly this is going to need rope too, so maybe before he gets here we can go ahead and level this ground out. And let's see, and there we are. It just needs long sticks for now, so we're good on that. So he'll be here in just a few minutes, and then we'll need to supply. Now, one of the things you can do, I like to drop my Jotun blood right here. Now, smokers, weird looking rabbits, like billy goat rabbits, they will steal anything in a storage, but they won't steal the things that are here on the ground. Occasionally your villagers will pick them up and put them somewhere safe for you, but generally I like to put all mine here. Now I've got enough for another villager to come, and our new villager will be here in just 1 minute, a little less than a minute. So the first thing we want to do is build a gatherer's hut. So we know we want these. We need these shelters here. We might even set up another shelter already where we want it to be. There'll be a next shelter. That's about right. These aren't going to stay forever anyways, even if I got it a little off. Maybe it won't bother me too much. But yeah, and then this will be our fourth there. So Bragg is here. So let us go. He will begin building. He's automatically a builder when he first comes in. Hey, Bragg. So let's fill this up. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So let's put 5 more in here and get our next villager coming. Activate. Let's see, Forager's Instinct. So that'd be great for the Forager and Lumberjack Strength. So she is just awesome. Revna. I'm liking Revna. Clumsy with Stone. Revna seems to have all the benefits. So there we go. We got Bragg and Revna coming in. Yes. Revna looks like she's stronger than Bragg will be. Let's go. So we can see down here, Bragg is already picking up things, collecting things that he might need, whether it be food or things for the build. There's a natural water source. Now we are getting hungry, so let's eat our onion. That'll help with our health boost, and eat our berries there. We might since we're getting the barbecue built pretty quick, we might look at building ourselves a bow and arrows. Sticks. So he's going around collecting things he might need. Now, we do need a gatherer's hut. We also need the guy to chop our wood, or we won't be able to build much. Or I will have to be the one chopping wood. So, no, I don't know which one I should do first. Oh, that just showed me something that I need not forget. So when your villagers first come in, they need to be assigned to a house. They're homeless. So we're going to come over here, and that's basically what it's telling us is how to house villagers. We're going to assign him to this place right here. We also are chopping some things down. He's getting some resources. Hey, guy, here, let's wave at him. Hold the V key. Oops, he's already left. There we go. See, he's picking up resources that we've chopped down in order to use. So let's chop down a few more trees. And if you're watching this video later, this will be the end of our first hour of Let's Play. We're going to try to keep these videos to 1 hour. So feel free to come back for the second Let's Play as we're building our Viking village, and our second villager will come in. In a couple of days, we'll have our first Blood Moon Rising, and we'll see if we can survive that. So thank you for coming. If you're on YouTube and watching on YouTube, come on back for another episode of Tech Wizard Stream's Aska Let's Play.
Don't forget to smash that like and subscribe buttons with your Viking axe, and scribble a comment down below to help others see more Aska content.